Hello and a warm welcome to our panel. Ecosystem, a network for collaboration and sustainable growth. An ecosystem of venture capital firms, lean structures in production and marketing, accelerator programs and incubators makes it much easier today to bring a product to market. At the same time, startups act more flexibly and quickly, and today serves the already well-known trends of sustainability and social responsibility. In this session, we will learn how established companies can access startups, support them, and achieve long-term success together. My name is Frank Holbeck. I worked for EIT-Food, which is Europe's largest innovation hub in terms of food. Maybe you haven't heard about it yet. We are just 4 years old. We just reached kindergarten age, but we are up on the market and running in 16 European countries with headquarters in Budapest and Brussels. You can learn a bit more about us in a short film.
Wir müssen unsere Lebensmittel zukunftssicher machen. Warum? Weil die Bevölkerung der Welt bis zum Jahr 2050 voraussichtlich fast 10 Milliarden Menschen erreichen wird. Und wir derzeit mit vielen demografischen, ökologischen und gesundheitlichen Problemen konfrontiert sind, die die Zukunft unseres Ernährungssystems bedrohen. Heute hungern fast 1 Milliarde Menschen weltweit, während doppelt so viele Menschen zu viele falsche Lebensmittel konsumieren. Die Nahrungsmittelproduktion ist für bis zu 30% der globalen Treibhausgasemissionen, 40% der weltweiten Landnutzung und 70% des Süßwasserverbrauchs verantwortlich. Erschwerend kommt hinzu, dass wir weltweit fast 1/3 unserer Lebensmittel verschwenden. Wir glauben, dass wir alle verantwortlich sind für die Lebensmittel, die wir essen. Wir müssen alle zusammenarbeiten, um sie zu verbessern. Wir bei EIT-Food bauen eine integrative und innovative Gemeinschaft auf, in der der Verbraucher aktiv beteiligt ist, damit wir einen Lebensmittelsektor schaffen können, der gesunde und nachhaltige Lebensmittel produziert, denen die Gesellschaft vertraut. Wie machen wir das? Indem wir Startups im Agrar- und Lebensmittelbereich gründen und aufbauen. Indem wir Talente und Führungskräfte fördern, um das Lebensmittelsystem zu verändern. Indem wir neue, innovative Produkte und Inhaltsstoffe auf den Markt bringen, um gesündere und nachhaltige Lebensmittel zu liefern. Und indem wir die Öffentlichkeit einbeziehen, um den Wandel im Lebensmittelsystem voranzutreiben. Lassen Sie uns gemeinsam die Zukunft der Lebensmittel gestalten. Wenn Sie mehr darüber erfahren möchten, wie wir das Lebensmittelsystem umgestalten, unsere Projekte kennenlernen und sich engagieren möchten, dann besuchen Sie uns auf www.eitfood.eu. Wir freuen uns auf Sie.
EIT-Food, we can offer you the best connection to the food startup scene in Europe, as well as Europe's biggest education program. We are the spider in the web, so to say. Now you know just a bit about us, but first of all, we want to get to know our guest today. I'd like to present you Tonja Lauer. She's project manager at the so-called Food Campus in Berlin. Hi, Tonja.
Hi, Frank.
Let me just introduce our second guest, Vera Knaue. She's based in Nuremberg. She's advisor for management boards, and she knows all about family business and startups. Hello, Vera.
Hi, Frank.
We come back later to you. So, Tonja, you're based in Berlin, which is a capital with very interesting things about food. But no one really heard about Food Campus Berlin. What's going on in Berlin?
Dear Frank, thanks so much for the introduction. I'm really excited to be here. Rethink and recreate the production of food together. That's the aim of the Food Campus Berlin, which will be open its doors in 2024. And we want to create a unique ecosystem where startups and established companies work, research, and produce under one roof. So I thought that this was an excellent fit when I heard the title of this talk, Ecosystems, a Network for Collaboration and Sustainable Growth. But let me maybe begin a little bit earlier. So in general, when people hear the word ecosystem, They think about like swamps or forests or a coral reef maybe. And when you Google ecosystems, you stumble across various different definitions. And I stumbled across this one. An ecosystem is mostly defined as a geographic area where plants, animals, and other organisms, as well as weather and landscape, work together to form a bubble of life. And I thought that this definition really fits to the food campus. I really liked it actually because what we want to do is also work together and form a bubble of life at the Food Campus Berlin. But before I start and go deeper into the ecosystem of the food campus, I have to be a bit sinister. The ecosystems of our world are under a lot of stress. I'm pretty sure that I don't tell you anything new when I say that we are facing humongous challenges in the next century. So agriculture production is responsible for 1/3 of greenhouse gas emissions, and which is a driver for climate change. We have a growth of population in 2025. We have to feed 10 billion people with a growing appetite for animal proteins. Hunger and obesity is a big topic. So we have 2 billion people that don't have enough food. On the other hand, we have 2 billion people who are overweight. Food waste in Germany, for example, we throw away 12 million tons of food, which equals 75 kilos per person in 1 year. And of course, loss of biodiversity. In the next decade, we will lose about 1 million species out of an estimated of 8 million. So in order to tackle these problems, we can't really rely on just one single company or one single startup or one university or politics. We need to transition to a multi-actor problem solver. In short, what we want to do is saving the ecosystem by building one, and the Food Campus Berlin should be a place of solutions. Here you can see our beautiful campus. I'm gonna go deeper into the architecture of the building in a little while. But at Food Campus Berlin, we want to create an ecosystem where the European food community has room for innovations and projects in the area of food and tech. Where startups and established businesses find common ground to create value for the growing demand of food, and an ecosystem to create a higher level of value collectively than the members could create individually, considering constraints like time, capital, production, research, market access, and the focus to stay inside the planetary boundaries. I'm not sure if you heard about the planetary boundaries, but probably. What are the planetary boundaries in terms of food? So the EIT Lancet introduced the planetary health diet a couple of years ago. And the aim is basically to introduce a healthier diet for people, but also for the planet. So it describes basically the shift to more vegetables and legumes on our plates, and away from like meat products and starchy products. And so we think that the battle for a sustainable future will be won on our plates. And what you can see actually here are the planetary and health boundaries. And legumes are here and vegetables are here. So we have a lot of wiggle room to go to this boundary, and shorten this one. At Food Campus Berlin, we want to create a holistic approach to those topics. So if we take plant-based meat substitutes, for example, we have the global scope, of course, which underlays the idea of planetary health. So away from meat products and to legumes, for example, and vegetables. And on the other side, we have the local area where regionality and resilience play a big role. So the connection to the region is not only a major consumer demand, but also the central level to change our food and supply system. So if we stay with our plant-based meat substitute, the next step is to use regional crops in order to produce these products. So this morning I actually read an article where researchers and farmers cultivated hemp as a protein source. And at the moment it could substitute soy and peas, for example, which often come from Canada. And it could be cultivated regional and is also helpful for soil regeneration. So this could be an example. On the other hand, we have culinary arts, which is tradition. So food is cultural identity. We all connect food to a certain place or certain moments. It's tradition, it's happiness. And it's great when it tastes great, of course. And this is why even the most innovative concepts should always keep a focus on taste and the joy of eating. So if we stay with the plant-based meat substitute, which improved a lot during the last years. I remember when I tasted soy sausages for the first time, I wasn't really happy with it, but I didn't turn my back on it, and I tried it, and the improvement was insane the last years. So this should be kept in mind. Also, future tech and digitalization, an enabler of innovative practices from food production to agriculture to rapid consumer feedback loops in order to make meat substitute products, for example, more affordable. So this is the holistic approach we want to follow with all our topics on Food Campus Berlin, which you can see actually here. So we always say that the dark green lines are representing our food campus. So we're basically the construct in which these areas are located. And by moving from this cluster thinking to cross-cluster thinking, we hope to establish an ecosystem of collaboration. And I just want to give you a quick example for a cross-cluster. It could be, for example, food service innovation, could be connected with personalized nutrition. Where is it? Okay, I can't find it now, but it's here. And that means when I go grab my lunch in the cafeteria, for example, I have an app maybe, and it automatically sends the cafeteria that I need more fiber or I need more carbohydrates today or whatever. I mean, it's all future topics, but we think this is a major driver of innovation. So we at Food Campus Berlin, we will need community managers who link different people from different clusters with each other and establish this ecosystem of collaboration. And we also want to solve the problem of matchmaking with a digital solution. So this is our beautiful campus ecosystem. At Food Campus Berlin, we will have about 1,000 people who will work there on a regular basis. So business located on the Food Campus Berlin are more than tenants. We actually call them campus members. They are members of a special and unique community, and we also want to offer infrastructure elements such as laboratories and kitchens, which can be rented on demand. These up and downstream stages create a unique farm lab table ecosystem. There will be also a community food and meeting space that promotes an exchange, enables the products produced at the campus to be made visible. For example, there will be a menu line in the community food and meeting space where there will be a takeover from a member every month. The production areas, in the campus partly allow for a glass production or like a production with glass where you can actually see what is going on, and therefore offer a chance to also be a showroom. And the first floor, I'm going to show it in the picture later, but the first floor is perfect for the research and development apartment and a small-scale production for pilot products. In German, it's called Technikum. So every on-site production can be a showcase in a metropolitan region that is crazy about food innovation, developing solutions, but also making solutions visible and tangible. That is our aim. Cooperations with universities. This goes more into the campus think labs with talent and research worldwide. So I'm just going to quickly show you the food campus again. This is the view from the water side. So here we have the community and meeting space. Right behind it, we have the production area with glass where you can actually watch products be made. In this building, we find offices, co-working spaces, community floors. We have another production area here. In this site, we can find laboratories, kitchens, and in the middle of the Food Campus Berlin, we actually want to have a small community garden where members can have their own space to produce products. And the total building has 40,000 square meters. And is right next to the water. You can't actually walk here today, but Berlin just told us, or the city of Berlin just told us that they're gonna build a way here. So that's gonna be awesome for us, I think. So how do members benefit from the unique campus system and the access to the most exciting food community? So we want to support members at the foundation stage with the access to affordable spaces, the access to the co-using infrastructure, and the access to mentors, which are going to be in the mentoring ship, and the campus think labs. We also want to support members in the growth stage with access to co-using infrastructure, access to production spaces, and access to the market. Established enterprises will have access to talents, access to solutions, which mostly will come from these two, and access to be part of the change. And then we also want to offer space for institutions, organizations, agencies, and service providers, which also have access to business, of course, access to talents, and the access to be part of the change. So the location, it's right outside the Berlin Ring. So here you can see the old airport Tempelhof. And here will be the Food Campus Berlin. So it's 45 minutes to the airport and 24 minutes to the main station. And the thing is, so a lot of people ask us, what are you going to do until 2024? And of course, we're not gonna sit on our butts and do nothing. We are curating this building, but we also want to introduce change now, and we're going to do it with the so-called virtual campus. So we want to create a virtual ecosystem where people can connect, cross-cluster thinking, can evaluate, and hopefully a pre-built community will be moving into the campus in 2024. So saving the ecosystem by building one, we are convinced that we can only tackle the challenges of our time by collectively looking for solutions. And if you're ready to transition to sustainable growth and long-term collaborations, then I'm very happy to hear from you. And we can also collect on LinkedIn. Yes.
Thank you very much, Tonja. It was a nice location. I have just a short question at the beginning. There was a crane in front of the building. What is it for? Does it belong to the food campus?
It does, actually. I mean, I can show it again, hopefully. It's very nice. I really like it. Maybe here. Yeah, this one you mean, right? So it used to be, it's actually monumentally protected. I'm not sure if this is the correct word, so you can't change anything on it. It used to be to unload coal from ships, and it could. This is actually the rail from the crane, so it could just move around on this one. So we tried to integrate it into the food campus. And the thing was, the food campus wasn't allowed to be higher than the crane itself. So with the architects, we tried to find the best solutions, how to integrate the whole building with the crane, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. It looks like a USP, and it's very easy to reach your building in the future.
Yeah, it is. And it's actually crazy because it's so huge. Like I never noticed how big the building is going to be. And then I was standing in front of the crane and I was like, oh, this is big. Yeah.
Pretty interesting. Can you just describe a bit more the relation between all your partners in the upcoming campus in terms of daily work? So you have researchers, scientists, food tech and food nerds. So is there something like a daily town hall meeting, for example? How can you connect all those people in the daily life? Can you just describe a little bit more about daily life in the food campus?
Yeah, I think a really important point is going to be the community food and meeting space. Where, of course, all these people from the different offices, from laboratories, come and meet at some point of the day. That's what I said. I think it's really important to have community managers or some kind of technical or digital solution to solve this matchmaking. Of course, we want to also do functions, for example, or have like little get-togethers for some groups of the food campus in order for them to get to know each other. I think that's really important for the team building as well as for the matchmaking between the different groups of people who are going to work there.
All right. Can you just give us an example about the pitfalls in this project? Why is it being done without much political support?
It's just classical project financing. So you finance a project with private investment, and it just goes from stage to stage. So you have the project is it's financed until we start to build it, and then it goes to another company who is going to finance it until it's been built, and then it goes to another company. Yeah, and they finance it.
So you didn't have...
Was it your question?
Yeah, but another question was, why is this being done without much political support?
Okay.
Why you don't you trust Berlin, or do you trust more the economy way of life?
Actually, it's probably... I mean, I really love my city, but you probably all know that we're not the most successful in building like huge projects or realizing huge projects, and our fear was that it just takes too long, and we, as I said, we don't really have time to tackle those those challenges, and we wanted to realize it as fast as possible, and that's why it was privately financed. Yeah.
So thank you very much for the moment. I think you're looking for new partners for sure, or do you have already your partners collected?
I mean, we have a few, but we always looking for new partners. And as I mentioned, I think it's something like the challenges of our time are something we need to do collectively. And we are looking for, of course, we're looking for partners all the time.
All right. Thank you very much, Tonja. We will discuss more about this project and the need of faster innovations later on. So hello again to Vera. As an advisor and entrepreneur, you are very close to Niels, one of the experts in the TV show Lion's Den, Die Höhle des Löwen. So maybe you can tell us a bit more about Rock Brand, which is the brand, and maybe also about your background with family business and startups, because it's quite interesting. So the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thanks for having me and giving me the opportunity also to showcase what we're doing at Rock Brand. First of all, well, you asked who are we? Rock Brand is the private investment firm of Niels Glagau. And Niels Glagau is, you already mentioned it, he is one of the TV investors in Höhle der Löwen on Vox, so the German equivalent to Shark Tank. And he's also the managing director of Automol Pharmaceuticals. And what we do there is supplements and nutrition. You might have seen, if you're in Germany, you definitely have seen us in the pharmacies. Internationally, also very well known. And with Rock Brand, we're a very tight-knit team and have invested in over 15 portfolio companies so far. And you also asked me in advance, who am I? I'm Vera Knauer, and I come from a family business background. In my former life, I have been a strategy consultant on different boards. And so the startup DNA and the entrepreneurial spirit is also in my DNA. And I've been working with Niels for the last 10 years. I'm responsible for the strategy of Automol and also for all of the investments that we're doing. So that's a bit about me, but what best to show you than with a little film what we're doing. So I'll show you what we are all about.
Hey, ich bin Niels, Geschäftsführer der Rock Brand. Außerdem bin ich Inhaber und Geschäftsführer der Automol GmbH. Wir bei Automol produzieren seit 30 Jahren Mikronährstoffkombinationen für unterschiedliche Anwendungsgebiete. Wir stehen für Innovation, Wissenschaft und Qualität und wachsen mit unserer Marke erfolgreich in der ganzen Welt. Unsere Leidenschaften sind Ernährung, Gesundheit, Sport und Bewegung. Bei Rock Brand legen wir Wert auf ein gutes Miteinander. Wir sind absolute Teamplayer und gemeinsam geben wir alles, ob beim Match oder im Business. Als Allrounder stellen wir uns jeder Challenge, auf dem Spielfeld oder für dich und dein Startup. Wir machen dich zum Gewinner. Hinter der Rock Brand stehen ein Team aus über 450 Kolleginnen und Kollegen und ein starkes Netzwerk. Wir arbeiten seit einigen Jahren erfolgreich mit Gründern aus unterschiedlichen Branchen zusammen. Unsere Experten brennen dafür, deine Marke nachhaltig und profitabel aufzubauen. Zusammen mit dir entwickeln wir Strategien, um dein Produkt in den passenden Kanälen zu platzieren. Ob in Online-Shops, Social Media oder offline im stationären Handel, Wir sorgen dafür, dass dein Produkt den Kunden erreicht. Und? Hast du Lust, in unsere Band zu kommen?
So this is in some pictures what we're about. So 2018, when Niels and I, we sat together and we asked ourselves where could be the uniqueness of our investment, is that the combination between the family business and what the founders need, that is the unique point, what we want to do. And so what we always have done and always do is that we put the founders' needs first.
Our focus is in 3 areas. So one is food, the other one is health and exercise, sports stuff, etc. And the third one, Niels calls lifestyle. I would say, lifestyle or other. In the food dimension, what we're really interested in is the startups that are on the cross lines between the health and the food. So if there are startups that have a really special food built in with the community that comes with it, the potential to have a really great brand around it, and plus you have a health bonus, that would be something that we would be really interested in. We're also looking into community and health startups at the moment. So that's a focus that we're interested in at this point. That you get a better understanding, I have some selected band members that I'd like to show you. And some additions are soon to be seen. I can't talk about them right now. Not allowed to, but I'm sure that they will make quite some headlines in the coming months ahead. Some of those startups that we have invested in the past, you might have heard from them or of them. One of them is Kops, for example. They've made a fantastic branding job. They have fans, communities. It's a coffee liquor. You have also heard probably of Ella's Basenbande. That's a ready-made dinner and alkaline food. Isaac is one of the pioneers. They're pioneering the snack industry with insect protein. Very, very yummy. And I've also brought you a little video from Air Video. Why? Because they have made it possible that you can take really, really cool footage and pictures and videos from the air without a drone. So to show you, I've got a little clip for you.
Hey guys, we've built this device that allows throwing smartphones. My iPhone is in there. Check this out, it will get you stunning aerial footage. We're launching on Kickstarter soon. Swipe up to get early access.
You need a really safe, secure, and fun place to do it. So that's one startup that is really, truly internationally working. Then we have another startup I brought with you. You might have seen them. They have made quite the headlines in Germany. That has been a huge success. They produce alcohol. Now you might say, well, that's not really innovative. We have had alcohol for decades, not even decades, more than decades. It's an old thing, but what they've really nicely showcased is that brand building, which is in our DNA. They have just made a really, really nice case in Germany. It's coffee liquor, and it's a special brand for that. And what might interest you the most, connecting to Tonia's sustainability challenge, because we are looking at that as well, is Isaac. Isaac has made quite the headlines 2 years ago. Food for pioneers, they say, is really delicious snacks with proteins from insects. And I can also show you a little film about them, just so that you can see what they're all about.
Hi, ich bin Tim, einer der Gründer von Isaac Nutrition. Wir stellen deine Ernährung auf den Kopf mit Insektenprotein, der besten Proteinquelle, die unser Planet zu bieten hat. Wir entwickeln gesunde, nachhaltige und vor allem leckere Lebensmittel und Snacks mit Insektenprotein. Von Natur aus liefern sie über 60% hochwertiges Eiweiß, 15 Vitamine und Mineralstoffe und essentielle Ballaststoffe. Einfach alles, was sein Körper braucht. Unsere Buffalo-Würmer werden in den Niederlanden in einer hochmodernen Zucht extra für den menschlichen Verzehr gezüchtet. Wir mahlen sie und verarbeiten sie in Produkten, die dich geschmacklich begeistern werden. Unsere Proteinriegel beispielsweise werden von Hand in Deutschland mit sehr, sehr viel Aufwand hergestellt. Nur so erreichen wir eine einmalige Konsistenz und einen einzigartigen Geschmack.
Wieso Eissack mein Favorite Riegel ist?
Weil es geil schmeckt.
Weil Insekten für mich eine Hammer-Proteinquelle sind.
Und mega Inhaltsstoffe hat.
Ich würde mich freuen, wenn auch du Teil unserer Eissack-Community wirst und wir gemeinsam die Ernährung der Zukunft gestalten.
So these are some companies that we've invested in the past. And the question is, what do you need, or what stage does the entrepreneur has to be in order for us to be interested investors? So one thing is to be really ambitious, to want to make a difference in food and the health segments, to have shown first customer traction with your product, so having an MVP and first community support, customer support, that's really essential for us. We're an entrepreneurial investor, so we're mixing and we're in the mud with you guys, with the startups, and you have to have the potential to scale internationally. So that's how we built up the Rock brand and how we created our ecosystem. What is to come is a secondary firm where it's very close and connected to automotive, so with supplements, with nutrients, with sources. So we're building one at a time our small ecosystem. What Tonya is building on a big scale, we're building it on a very entrepreneurial scale. But the core of everything is entrepreneurship and family business, where we can deliver value.
So thank you very much, Vera, for this very interesting insight and for the pretty good examples. And your last sentences could be something written on wood. We are running out of time, so just a short question. Do you think the program with Niels, Höhle des Löwen, is it far away from reality, or is it must-see for SMEs? To understand more about the startups.
Well, everything that you see at Höhle der Löwen happened the way exactly it was filmed. So everything is real. What I find sometimes is that once founders have come to the stage at Höhle der Löwen, they have a different outlook on what work means. So that's sometimes a bit challenging. Just because that you have been showcased, it doesn't mean that you're a millionaire. So being on TV is not an automatic success. So you do really have to work for it. And that's what we're here for.
So I have to say thank you very much. To Tonya, I think we need more food campus maybe in Germany than only in Berlin. Thank you very much to Vera, because we're running out of time. We learned really a lot today, also between startups and companies, because this is really the place we have to learn. We learned just a little bit about EIT-Food. If you like to see our webpage, it's eitfood.eu. Just have a look and drop me an email. It was a pleasure to talk to you today, and I hope to see you back at Anuga. Thank you very much for being with us, and stay healthy. See you soon.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Vera.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.